Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast.
Oh yeah.
No, we got rid of that one. We have a new.
Don't care. I don't know the new one.
All right. Well,
It was like that, something like that.
speaking of the new one, we've been off for a while now, but we had some scheduling issues and whatever. But I went down to Dayton, Ohio, and actually saw Night Beast in concert.
Nice.
So the guy who wrote our theme song had a little concert at a thing called like Taste of Dayton.
The theme song I won't learn.
Yes. I couldn't talk him into playing the theme song. Mainly because it's not really a song to play, but that and I
should have opened with it.
He should have. I should have asked if he would do it, but they're really good. I wish they would tour outside of Dayton. I think that they would do really well. It was crazy. So it was just like a little street festival basically, and like the band on before them had a handful of people there, and then they went off and it was a very interesting setup because so they had a band, and then while they were switching stage, they had a hip hop or a rap group. So they didn't need the stage, so they stood in front of the stage and did some stuff while they were setting the stage for the next group. So there was never not anything happening.
That's
and then
nice.
When Night Beast came on, so our friend Nick, the crowd got into the hundreds. Like it was crazy. Like all of a sudden these like crazy tattooed like Daytonites just showed up out of nowhere. Like Night Beast has a huge following in Dayton, and I only have the one tattoo, so I was really underdressed.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, it was. They have some pretty loyal followers, and like that, I thought they did amazing. I might be biased, but I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So anyway, just
Nice.
shout out to Night Beast for having a concert and letting me come down. Well, not letting me. I mean, I chose to go down there, but also just to once again thanking them for giving us a theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So Night Beast.
So I have been threatening for a while now. I don't know how long, but at least over a year, to do a pop culture vehicle bracket.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I know we talked about it a little bit a little while ago when we did when we decided what was the best Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
And so we narrowed it down. So I broke it down into 4 different categories: TV, movies, other, which will be fun to talk about, and sci-fi. Even at that, and each one is just 16. I left probably a lot of stuff off. There's no real scientific ranking for how to do this. So there's no I added these 3 score together. So I kind of just as I thought of them and as I was just, searching the internet, I was like, and I put them on a list. So they're very random, except for the Batmobile that we decided was the best Batmobile. Which honestly, at this point, I can't remember which of these 2 Batmobiles it was. So it was one of these 2 Batmobiles I think it was we decided the 89 Batmobile, the one from the Michael Keaton movie, was the best one, right?
That sounds right.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. So, there's no real method to the madness. And I do have 4 categories, so I don't expect that. I don't know if we're going to try to do all 4 today, or just do 2 of them. We'll see how long each one of these brackets takes.
Okay.
I don't mind making this a 2-parter. All right, so we're going to start with at our unscientifically decided system of TV first, then movies, then other, then sci-fi, because that was what was decided when Justin answered a question he didn't know he was answering.
Yeah.
All right.
Just put these in order.
All right. So for our TV bracket, we're going to start with the number one seed. Actually, I'm not even going to give the numbers because it doesn't really matter. It's just how they shook out. Um,
So seeds are irrelevant, you're saying.
seeds are basically irrelevant, other than the 89 Batmobile, which I think I promised would be a number one seed. But other than that, like because there's like I said, there's no real scientific way to rank them. It's just a matter of like so basically, for the TV bracket, like I picked vehicles that were important to the TV show,
Okay.
All right.
or have kind of gone beyond just being like, hey, that's a car that was in a TV show. So like I didn't pick like a Crown Vic from like CSI Las Vegas, CSI, because nobody really cared. That wasn't the important. But the first one is the 66 Batmobile, so the one that Adam West drove around, versus the Mach 5 from Speed Racer.
So,
I-
sorry, Mach 5.
Really?
I
I mean,
Is
hey,
that what you're picking, or are you just mocking it?
like the Batmobile. I like the 66 Batmobile.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say I think this is gonna be an easy one. It's the Batmobile.
okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
then Jeremy
That's why I was
said
very
Mach
shocked when.
5.
No, I said
Jeremy-
sorry, Mach 5.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did it cut? It must have cut off the sorry part.
All we heard
I've
is
been very quiet today.
all we just heard was Mach 5, and I was like, what?
No. I said sorry, Mach 5.
No, you're not. You're not sorry.
A little sorry.
Get out of here.
And because
You know,
I
I
have
think it's just fuck it.
because I don't have any science behind it, and because I don't mind turning this into a two-part episode. If there's a particular memory you have about a show or a movie or something, did we just lose you?
Sorry, my cord sucks right now. I'm back. I can hear
Okay,
you again.
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Guess
All right.
who's back?
So now
Okay,
we're
again.
going to talk about the Beverly Hills truck, the Beverly Hillbillies truck,
Uh-huh.
versus the Fall Guy truck.
Let me look that bad boy up again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that one is.
The Fall Guy truck is that I don't know what the exact model of, but it's that big, brown truck with the eagle on the front. It's just badass. I was kind of disappointed they didn't really use it in the movie. I mean, they did have a quick second of it, but I did enjoy the movie. But the truck just was what made the show. And then of course, obviously, the Beverly Hillbillies truck was that ramshackle thing with Granny sitting on a stool,
Sitting up in a rocker.
sitting up in a rocker.
Cloris Leachman in the rocker with a shotgun.
Well, that's the movie,
That's the one I'm going with.
Okay,
Beverly
all right.
Hills truck.
This Fall Guy truck.
As a young child who watched a lot of the Fall Guy, that truck was pretty cool.
I'm gonna go with that. I like
Okay.
it. Did you see the new one? Did we already talk about this?
I didn't see the new one.
I did. I enjoyed it. It has very little to do with the TV show, other than like names and like the fact that he's a stuntman. But it was still
Mhm.
It was still an enjoyable movie. I mean, Ryan Gosling seems to have hit that point in his career where, like, he just is himself now, and that seems to be what they want, and it
Yeah.
works.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was working.
That's cool.
All right, so Fall Guy moves on. All right, now we have Kit from Knight Rider
Okay.
All right.
versus the Monkey Mobile from the Monkeys.
Fuck is that? I mean, I know what that is. I know what the series is. I don't know what the car looks like.
I went with Kit. I'm voting for Mr. Feeney. More important.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
All right, that's kind of how I was also going to go. All right, Baby from Supernatural, which I'm hoping that Justin can tell us a little bit more about, or the General Lee.
Oh man, we're getting canceled.
We're talking about the car, not what's painted on it.
I think that's just his car that he drives that's in every episode season.
Right. Yeah, every list I came across with like pop culture vehicles, it was on there. So I was like, I never watched Supernatural, but I know a couple people who did, so I'll put it on the list.
And then the trunk had all the weapons and everything to stop all the creatures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Baby.
All right. But the General Lee was a rum runner, like it smuggled. He's always outrunning the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, granted,
Yeah.
I know that we can't have a particular item still painted on the General Lee, but that doesn't mean the General Lee isn't a kick-ass car.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
Baby's a 67 Chevy Impala.
So I am. I guess I'm gonna risk cancellation, and I'm rooting General. I'm voting General Lee.
You know what? I'm gonna vote for the General Lee too. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out.
You can get out.
All right. This is gonna be a fun. All right, we have the A-Team van versus the Breaking Bad RV. I don't know why all of a sudden my list says something other than that, but I know that's what it was supposed to be there.
What'd you write?
Apparently, I wrote Supernatural again, and I don't know why. But I know that Breaking Bad was the motorhome. That was
Was that a Winnebago?
Sure.
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 That one for me is good. That's gonna be my vote. Very iconic.
My vote's going for the A-Team.
Right.
I've never seen Breaking Bad.
It's kind of shocking. It's
Why?
worth watching.
What are you implying?
Well, I mean, you would watch one. You would only watch one episode and stop watching anyway. So
I'd get through a solid 2.
Oh, okay. When I think pop culture vehicles, I tend to think A-Team van. I want that black van with the red pinstripe and the foil on it for no apparent reason on a van, like Mr. T, having just So I'm voting the A-Team van. That van has always been awesome to me.
You two do look like you would drive around in a van.
I believe it didn't have any windows. It didn't have any back windows, did it?
It didn't have side windows. It had back windows. Yeah. It didn't, but it didn't have the window. It didn't. It was, it didn't have the windows on the side.
Okay.
Which
characters would we be, Nicholas?
I mean, you would probably be Murdoch.
All right.
I'm definitely not Face. I know that much. So it either leaves me with being BA because I know how to build stuff, or I guess, man, why am I blanking on his name? George Papard's character.
Doesn't help me.
The leader. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the A-Team van is moving on. All right. Because this is a Wisconsin-based podcast, I had to include Fonzie's motorcycle.
Hey.
Or Dragula.
Hey.
Do I? Well, I mean, I guess for the benefit of our audience, Dragula would be Herman Munster's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Munstermobile.
That's a great car, but is it great enough to move on?
It's so great that Rob Zombie wrote a song about it.
True.
Jeremy, where you going? Nicholas, where you going?
I think I'm gonna go Dragula. I wasn't born and raised in Wisconsin, so I don't have to vote for the Happy Days themed things just because.
I'm gonna vote for the Fonz.
Yeah, I gotta stick with my Wisconsin bias.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's usually where I vote. If you haven't learned this by now,
I do, and that's why I put it on there. All right. The helicopter from Airwolf versus the Ferrari from Magnum PI.
I think the Magnum PI Ferrari. Can't fly a helicopter, but I could drive a Ferrari.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna have at least 2 lists full of things we can't drive. So whether or not you can drive it shouldn't be your deciding factor.
Ferrari.
Ferrari's just way more practical.
All right.
Practicality and drivability. Ferrari.
All right, and then we have the Mystery Machine versus the Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch.
Can it be the Gran Torino from Gran Torino?
No, that's a different Gran Torino. This is the specific Gran Torino from Starsky and Hutch. This is the TV bracket. So
touche.
I think I'm gonna jump right in here and say Mystery Machine.
Yeah. I kind of figured that one.
I actually forgot what the first one was. You can tell when we haven't recorded in a while because things go off the rails quickly.
That doesn't matter whether we haven't recorded in a month or not. That's what we do here. All right.
The longer the break, the quicker the unravel.
All right. So now we're to the 66 Batmobile versus the Fall Guy truck.
Easy Batmobile for me.
Batmobile.
Batmobile.
You know what? Just to be difficult,
Where's Harvey?
I'm going to vote for the Fall Guy truck, but the Batmobile still moves on. So,
What
all
about
right.
the? Wait, this is TV. Never mind.
Right? Yeah,
That'll be for later.
that'll be for later. All right. All right. Now we have Kit versus General Lee.
Oh boy. Ride or die, baby. General Lee.
I'm going to say you can't hassle the Hoff. You got to go Kit. I mean, the car
Yeah.
could talk.
Yeah, Mr. Feeney. Feeney. I'm going Mr. Feeney.
I'm not
All right.
upset.
I can't think of that guy's name though, and it's kind of bugging me.
Feeney?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is him?
All right. Now
Come on,
we're at
Nicholas.
I want to say it's Douglas, but I could be wrong. The A-Team van versus Fonzie's motorcycle.
Mm.
I'm going A-Team van. I'm sticking with the A-Team.
Fonzie's motorcycle. It's seen so much cool shit, man. I mean, not that the 18 van didn't. Fonzie got laid all the time. He jumped a shark.
He did.
It's true, but he did not jump the shark in with the motorcycle.
That's true. It was just the water skis.
I think so, yeah.
A-Team.
Oh, all right.
I'm not upset.
My Wisconsin bias can't beat out the A-Team.
Fonzie didn't even get.
Hey.
He just got aid.
All right, so now we're with the Ferrari from Magnum PI, or what I'm pretty sure is going to be a clean sweep, the Mystery Machine.
It was the
Break out your brooms.
what the versus. Wait, what was the second one?
Mystery Machine.
Okay, wait, what was the first one?
The Ferrari from Magnum PI.
Oh, okay.
Break out your brooms.
Well, you think so, huh?
I do think so.
Why don't you say what your vote's going to be?
Mystery.
Just like,
Mystery Machine.
golly, I guess like I'm going to have to go that way too. I'm really feeling the pressure. The Ferrari is pretty cool, though. It is cool.
I mean, it's a Ferrari. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong. Tom Selleck got the cool mustache. It was
Yeah.
Hawaii. And, I mean, it was a cool car. But, I mean, come on. The Mystery Machine?
You're right. All right. Edit that stuff out about me talking about Fonzie getting laid.
I mean, I will try, but I can't promise you I'll edit that out.
I mean, it was the 50s. My point was, I don't think he was. I think it was just a lot of like handsy stuff, probably.
A lot of smoke
I
and
just wanted to
mirrors.
clarify. Yeah.
I don't think a fictional character is going to come after you.
Henry Winkler might.
He's a cool
All right.
guy. I think he'll
Yeah.
be all right.
Yeah. All right. The Batmobile, the 66 Batmobile, Adam West's vehicle, or David Hasselhoff and Kit. Little Michael Knight driving around solving crimes, or
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, Batman driving around solving crimes.
Could Kit take over the driving for you too?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go with Kit.
I'm going Batman.
Oh,
No matter how much I like William Daniels, I had to look it up because I could not remember.
I was way off with Douglas then.
I mean, if you combine William and Daniels, it might equal Douglas.
No.
That was a series I'm not super familiar with, but I mean, I obviously know the car. Just don't really know what happened in it.
I mean, if you would watch the Blu-rays you have of the complete collection of that Batman.
Not Batman. I'm talking about Knight Rider. I mean, I'll watch that too. I'm working on it. But I was talking about Knight Rider. I've never seen that show before.
But you voted for the car?
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, the car is cool.
I have such driving anxiety. Like I want something like that to take over for me. Like
You
it'd
just
be
get
awesome.
into traffic and just throw your hands up.
Kit, take the wheel.
If memory serves,
I'm a bitch.
didn't the Batmobile wasn't it able to drive itself a little bit too?
I don't know. Maybe cruise control meant
I'm gonna go.
self-driving.
I feel like I'm gonna go Batmobile. I do like King, but I think and so Batmobile moves on. All right. Now we're on to the battle of the vans. Who has the cooler van? B.A. Baracus or Shaggy? Whose van do we want to get in the back of when they offer us free candy?
Us. Easy.
Face and
So
Murdoch or Daphne and Velma?
Oh,
Yeah.
Too old, dude.
Do we want to hang out with a guy who can take a welder and turn basically MacGyver whatever he wants to out of some random parts he has in the back of the van, and also fully well-stocked weaponry,
Mhm.
or hang out
An asshole and a neckerchief.
with Shaggy and Scooby?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with the dog and the stoner.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with the dog and the yeah,
All right, so Mystery Machine is moving on.
and the others.
All right.
It's so beautiful outside right now. So you got a window nearby? There's just a little bit of light through the clouds. Just really wanted you to take a moment to appreciate this day. Just we don't know how much time we have on this planet. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
What is going on?
All right.
You've been hanging out with Shaggy and Scooby a little too much.
Apparently. All right, so now we have
guys.
the 66 Batmobile or the Mystery Machine. Who is going to win the TV bracket? What is the most iconic TV vehicle? The 66
Okay, I was gonna say,
Batmobile?
what was your criteria? You did most iconic?
I don't really have criteria. I just picked like when you think like pop culture vehicles, like what are some of the first things you go to?
Fuckability. Oh, I'm sorry. Drivability.
Oh boy.
What are the things you think of?
Yeah, like I mean, it's just like I mean, obviously, like when you think like TV vehicles, I mean, obviously,
Sure.
when we got down to the final four, it was Batmobile, Kit, A-Team, and Mystery Machine. Those are some of the big ones. Those are probably like the Mount Rushmore of the TV vehicles.
Right. I would think too, like a little criteria you could think of is what would they make a Macy's float about potentially?
Both.
And it could be both. I mean, the Batmobile has had its own animated series.
However,
That's pretty big.
However, the Mystery Machine is in every iteration of. So I mean, so is the Batmobile. The Batmobile there's so many different iterations of the Batmobile. That's why I have to specify the 66 Batmobile.
Yeah.
The Mystery Machine is pretty much the same in every one.
Yeah.
Except for this well, never mind.
All right, moving on. Who's starting this vote?
You know what? For the first time, I'm going to vote against the Batmobile. I'm going to vote Mystery Machine.
Oh,
Justin,
Jeremy, where are you going?
where are you going? Or should we just say what our votes are at the same time?
Yeah.
Well, what if they're different?
Then one wins, one loses.
All right, fine.
1, 2, 3. Mystery Machine.
Oh, wow. All right.
Like zoink, Scoob.
Oh,
Right?
Zoinks.
that was horrible. Hold on.
You want to try again?
I better do a good one.
Like zoink, Scoob. We got to get to the Mystery Machine.
That was awesome. You should do the new Shaggy. I'm not really feeling like doing impressions right now.
Matthew Lillard keep it.
Yeah, so he's pretty good at Shaggy.
Yes. I just look Shaggy. What is his real name?
Norval Rogers.
What?
That sounds right. I believe you are correct.
Why the fuck I know that? I can't remember William Daniels' real name, but Shaggy's real name, yeah.
Norval Rogers.
Norval Rogers. Crazy.
Like zoink, Scoob.
Oh! I'm trying to combine Scooby and Shaggy at the same time.
Ruh-roh,
All right.
I mean, just I'm naturally just kind of Shaggy just by talking. Like, hey, man.
Yeah, the raspiness in the voice.
All right.
All right, Nicholas, come on. Let's hear your best Daphne.
Best Daphne.
Fine, Velma.
Jinkies.
Perfect.
All right. Now on to the movie bracket. Obviously, there was a lot that probably got left off. These were just the ones that, again, when I was doing research, showed up the most on the list are the ones that like I wrote down without that, because I wrote down a whole lot of vehicles without doing any Google research.
Okay.
Just like what I thought of when I thought of pop culture vehicles. So when I came up with this,
are there any repeats?
Well, we'll find out in a second.
That's a yes.
So when I came up with the idea of doing this bracket, I was at the Casey's here in town, the gas station, and I don't remember what the gas station attendant said to me. It was behind the counter, and there was some kind of fancy car in the parking lot, and he said something, and I was like, "Idea for a podcast: pop culture vehicle bracket." And then it took me forever to figure out how to crack it and actually like get into it and figure out how to do it, which is where the idea of splitting up into 4 categories came from, because like it's really hard to like say yes.
What's Casey's?
It's a gas station.
Is it like Quick Trip?
Yes, it's a
Yes.
it's a wannabe Quick Trip.
Oh, okay. All
It
right.
just happens to be closer to my house than either of the 2 Quick Trips.
You
Yeah,
don't know
so-
Casey's?
I think I've seen one on the way into Waterford. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yes, there is one in
Yeah.
Waterford. Yeah,
Right over by the Cotton Exchange.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Anyway,
They got good snacks.
Do they?
You know, gas stations have better snacks now than they used to.
Yeah.
Like when I was in college, like gas station snacks were either candy or like really sketchy hot dogs and pieces of pizza. Now like Quick Trip, you can go get a full on like good dinner for a pretty decent price.
Yeah.
Shout out to gas stations. Just those 2.
Hell yeah. Have you ever been to Buc-ee's?
I've heard about it, and I know they're building some here in the States, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Bring
I
it
don't know.
on.
I just feel like Quick Trip has such a hold on Wisconsin; it's going to be hard to break in. But anyway, enough of gas station talk. All right, so the movie bracket, and this is the one that stayed number 1 because I'm pretty sure this is who we decided was the best Batmobile. So the '89 Batmobile versus the Charger from Fast and Furious. Now it was really hard to narrow it. I could have done. Now I know I couldn't because Justin refuses to watch the Fast and Furious movies.
Damn straight.
We probably could have done a bracket just off Fast and Furious vehicles. So I had to choose like what the most iconic movie, because like that's a car franchise. Like it's based around cars. It's based around vehicles.
I was going to
So-
say the car Jason Statham drove in Hobbs and Shaw would be my pick for the Fast and Furious vehicles.
Yes, but that's not the one that made the list. The
Yeah, that's the
Charger,
only one I've seen.
the Charger that Vin Diesel drove, or any variation that he drove from all 10 or 11 movies. That's the one. So what are we picking here? The '89 Batmobile, the classic, the one that won our Batmobile bracket to the best of our recollection.
Yeah.
Batmobile.
The 89 Batmobile.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Okay. All right. Okay. The Mini Coopers from Italian Job. Either Italian Job, whatever Italian Job you want to talk about. The Mini
Okay.
Coopers.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Or the Pussy Wagon from Kill Bill.
Nice.
All right.
Tough.
Two completely different movies.
And just to be clear, I'm not just, demeaning women here. It is literally a big old truck that's fancy painted that has Pussy Wagon painted on the back of it.
Yeah.
It's when I typed in like iconic movie vehicles, that showed up a lot, which is the only reason I included it on the list, because I don't necessarily think about that one.
I don't necessarily think about the Mini Coopers from Italian Job either, but
think
they get
brought
my
them out.
vote. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that movie.
I
pretty
did
good.
I did like that movie. I'm disappointed they never made the sequel that they promised us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the Mini Coupe for sure.
all right, Mini Cooper. All right.
The Pussy Wagon is it's ridiculous.
All right, this one's going to be a little difficult, at least for me. You got the Plymouth from Evil Dead versus the Family Truckster,
Okay.
right? And just to be clear for our audience, because I feel like both of you know what the Family Truckster is. We're talking about the vehicle from at least the first Vacation movie, if not multiple of the Vacation. Well, no, I don't think it showed back up, but it was the vehicle from the first Chevy Chase Vacation movie.
And what's it going against?
The Plymouth
Evil
from
Dead?
Evil Dead, which I'm pretty sure was in at least the original 3, because didn't he time travel in the Plymouth, like when he got sucked through the vortex?
In Army of Darkness?
Yeah, in Army of Darkness.
I believe so.
Well, this is a little off brand, but I'm gonna go with the family trucks.
I'm going to go with the Plymouth.
I'm going Family Truckster as well. I do like Evil Dead as a movie, but when I think of vehicles, the Family Truckster. All right. Good old Herbie the Love Bug.
Okay.
from many Herbie the Love Bug movies.
Okay.
Some sort of sentient Volkswagen Beetle that can do things that her Volkswagen Beetle shouldn't do
Yeah.
versus the Ford Explorers from Jurassic Park.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna piss on that little bug's face.
Yeah, that bug's getting stomped on. Probably by a T-Rex.
All right then.
Yeah, that's not
okay.
enough said.
I wasn't real sure that the Jurassic Park vehicles would make it, but okay, all right, Jurassic Park it is.
If a vehicle painted like that was like relatively priced, I would still buy one today.
You're not lying. All right. The Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay.
Versus Greased Lightning from Grease.
Oh, wow.
Also, another vehicle on this list that inspired a whole song. Granted, it wasn't in the movie, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Grease.
I hate movie musicals.
I know you do.
I've never seen Grease, and I refuse to watch Grease.
Wow.
Smokey and the Bandit is a great movie. It is. It's Burt Reynolds at Burt Reynolds' best, and that Trans Am is just cool. So I'm going Trans Am.
Okay. All right. Oh wow, it's a lot of pressure. It's
not that much pressure. It's just picking your favorite friend.
Oh, in that case. Trans Am versus.
I'm not even sure what the Greased Lightning car is, but
let me look for you. I feel like it was some kind of Chevy, wasn't it?
You know, if I was a better podcast host and had actually done work, I would have figured out how to have like a screen share with like pictures of the vehicle so I could do it, but I'm just not that
slick.
I'm just not that industrious. And
I got a bunch of orange on my hands, so I'm not gonna look. Just describe it to me, Justin. It was a Chevy, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that's pretty slick. The musical actually wasn't bad either.
Oh, it's a 48 Ford.
Matters. Oh, it was a Ford.
There's a couple different variations.
That really changes everything. Just because in my mind, I'm such a big deal. Such a car guy.
Oh, are you now?
Why do you think we have a whole episode on cars?
Actually, you know what? That I'm gonna go with the Trans Am because that Thunderbolt is just tacky as fuck now that I look at it. Which you really want to drive that around?
All right. Now the Bluesmobile from Blues Brothers.
Ooh, yeah.
Versus Christine, the evil possessed car.
Yeah, fuck yeah, metal. Christine, baby. That's my vote.
Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
Oh, that was short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen Christine. I need to rewatch it. Blues Brothers is one of my all-time favorite movies. Just
that's fair. Change myself for the not picking a Halloween answer last time.
Okay. All right. It was really hard to narrow down this one. Because there's been 20 some odd James Bond movies. He tends to have a different car in every movie. But when most people think of James Bond, there's one particular car that comes to mind, and that is the Aston Martin DB5. Particularly the one, I'm pretty sure in Goldfinger, but I think it shows back up again in a couple other movies. But the Aston Martin DB5 tends to be the classic James Bond car that most people think of. Or the Mirthmobile from Wayne's World.
Oh, that actually is a James Bond.
That is the Aston Martin.
Okay, all right. I kind of figured you'd vote for the Mirthmobile because you refuse to watch James Bond movies.
I looked at the car and I went, I like that.
My first car was a 1981 Honda Civic.
I don't know why I just thought of Employee of the Month.
Because that was the joke in Employee of the Month. But it was very similarly shaped in color to the Mirthmobile. It was not the exact same model, and it wasn't like the Mirthmobile was a little blockier than my car, but I didn't have the Twizzler dispenser.
Because you're anti-Twizzler?
No, well, not at the time. I am now, but
you seem like a Red Vines kind of guy.
I mean, if I had to choose, I would choose Twizzler. But now that I'm not allowed to
Smart.
have, now that I'm not allowed to have either,
They make sugar-free red vines or
do
Twizzlers.
do they?
Yeah.
I'll have to look for those. All right. This one I included because it's a cool movie, but I'm not sure if either one of you have seen it. So, and it's going to lose to who it's up against anyway. The Mustang from Bullet, the Ford Mustang from the Steve McQueen movie Bullet,
Yeah.
Okay.
has
okay.
one of the most iconic car chase scenes of all time.
Yeah.
But it is going up against Ecto One.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Ecto one's out of here.
What?
Ecto one's out of here.
I mean, I'm voting for Ecto One. So,
I'm voting Ecto one.
Steve McQueen.
has either of you actually seen Bullet?
I saw the
once.
scene.
Oh, okay.
I seen it a long time ago, but yes, I have.
That was back when Netflix did the mail. When you would get mailed DVDs instead of just streaming. I went on I must watch these most iconic movie kick, and so I went through and was just putting all of these in the top 100 movie list or anything that people talked about. So I know I watched it then. I don't remember very much of the movie other than the car chase scene, and it was
wasn't a
badass.
bad
but-
movie.
No, I mean it was but
I mean,
mean-
yeah, I probably haven't seen that movie in 25 years.
at least. But it's one of those that if it wasn't for the car chase scene, I don't know if people would still be talking about it.
Yeah, true.
All right, so now we're back to the '89 Batmobile. Michael Keaton, Tim Burton versus the Mini Coopers from Italian Job.
Oh, those guys.
Oh,
Kind of a cheat because there's a bunch of them versus one Batmobile, but
you could stack all the Mini Coopers up and it'd still suck ass compared to the Batmobile.
Yeah. Word.
all right, I'm not surprised. All right, I not knowing that the Jurassic Park trucks were gonna go as highly as they were, I don't know how this vote's gonna go. The family truckster from the Vacation series or the Ford Explorers from Jurassic Park.
I don't know how that's gonna go either. That's tough.
I'm going Jurassic Park. Those cars, I really like those cars. I like the paint job. I want one.
They are pretty baller.
They are, but I mean, the family truckster. I mean, and it may. I don't. Yeah, I'm going family truck.
Jurassic Park.
All right, I am not surprised, quite honest.
I feel like you are a little.
Well, I am now. I'm not. I was at the beginning. Now I'm not.
It was hard decision though.
All right, the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit versus the Bluesmobile.
Oh, talk about
So you gotta
hard decision.
run that Coors Light, or you gonna take down some Illinois Nazis.
I'll start with this one. I'll say the Trans.
I'm gonna go Blues Brothers.
As much as I like Blues Brothers as a movie, I think the Trans Am is a cooler car.
You said run down some Illinois Nazis.
I mean, they deserve to be run down as well, yes. But
And we all know my affection for that state.
anyway, let's not talk about that. All right, the Austin Martin DB5, driven by 007 himself,
Uh-huh.
or Ecto One.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with the DB5.
Really,
I don't know.
that would literally be shocking to me. If you
I
were-
mean, I like those Ghostbuster movies. I mean, that car's so cool looking.
I mean, the Austin Martin is a cool car, but I mean, the Ecto.
No, I'm going Ecto. I'm
Ecto
thinking
one.
iconic. If you put those two cars side by side and said, "Where are these from?" I could at least tell you the Ecto. I'm like, "Oh, Ghostbusters," and I'm not entirely sure. So
I mean, I feel like I'd be able to tell you exactly which one both is from, but
well, I couldn't, so I'm going Ghostbusters.
when Ghostbusters 2 came out, I think it was MTV or somebody was running a contest to win the Ecto One or win the Ectomobile, and I tried so hard to win that contest, but I was also 10. I don't know what I would have done with it had I won. Probably would have. My dad would have been like, "What? Why did you enter this contest in the first place? You legally can't enter this."
Shut up. Just pretend you were the one that entered.
Come on, Dad, don't ruin this for me. Oh man, I don't want to vote against James Bond, but I like the Ectomobile. I mean, it is Ecto One is just so cool and it's iconic. And
Yep.
so Jeremy,
Well, James Bond car.
okay, all right. And what did you actually vote for,
The
Justin?
Ecto,
Okay, all right.
because I could pick it out of a lineup.
All right. So now we're back to, oh, this one will be fun. The 89 Batmobile
Yeah.
versus the Ford Explorers from Jurassic Park.
No.
One of the tougher ones.
Batmobile.
We're losing daylight. The Jurassic Park car.
I mean, come on, it's the Batmobile. I mean,
That's fine. Whatever.
I would buy the Batmobile. I mean, like, I don't know what I would do with it or where I would keep it or if I could even fit in it to drive it. But if I won the ridiculous lottery where like I can just buy a compound and move to Montana, I'm buying an 89 Bat.
Yeah.
All right, the Trans
And a
Am.
Jurassic Park car.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend so much stupid money on stupid things. All right, the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit versus Ecto One.
I feel like we did that. It's all starting to blend together. All these
Yeah.
vehicles.
Ecto 1.
That's where I'm going as the one.
Wow.
Wow, Jeremy.
Ecto One.
All right, now for the hardest one of the day, and I think it will be the last one for today. I think we will turn this into a two-part episode. The Batmobile versus Ecto One. The 89 Batmobile versus Ecto One.
This isn't hard at all. It's the Batmobile. Well, for me, it's not. I love
It's hard
Batman
for
stuff.
me,
Ecto One for me.
of course.
Yeah,
Did that just to
Jeremy's
be
like,
different.
Jeremy's like, I'm getting my vote out, putting the pressure on Nicholas.
Not give it the mic down, lean back.
All right then. I
Make him
think
debate.
I'm gonna have to go with the Batmobile. I mean, I love Ectomobile. I love Ghostbusters, but it's the Batmobile. I mean,
The Ecto One would take down that bitch ass car any day.
I don't think so.
Batman has the shields, and then he can drop
Not
bombs
even
out
I
of the wheel.
believe that.
Then he can drop bombs out of the wheels.
Yeah, he's got the
All right.
grappling hook too.
Yeah, but this
You know how long
car's
it's
cool.
gonna take for the Ecto 1 to turn?
It would take quite a bit.
Can't
All
turn that
right.
thing on the dime.
So next week we'll handle others and sci-fi. So we're gonna get weird next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, because this episode wasn't weird enough.
All right, I guess real quick then, just so we can do our normal segments of the week. Has anybody watched anything they want to talk about over the last couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got something finally.
All right.
I
Okay.
wrote my shit down so I remember.
All right, so I'll go. I went to go see In a Violent Nature, and it was kind of like an art house version of Jason. A little slow, but I wouldn't agree with a lot of the reviews that say it was like excruciatingly slow. I would say like I really liked it. I thought the pacing was excellent. I just thought it was cool to see it from a different perspective because it's all the whole thing is from the killer's perspective.
Oh.
Is it is it not a first person?
Not first person.
That'd be pretty cool though. First
That
person
would be
horror
pretty-
film.
Yeah. But it's a lot of like over the shoulder, a lot of him walking through the forest. It does some cool stuff where like it'll stay on a single shot for a long time and it'll like pan over and like just action will start to happen and then it'll pan back. And it's just like it's really if you have patience and you like to watch things unfold, like and it definitely you could tell there's like some homages to like Jason and shit into it too. But I enjoyed it.
I added it to my list so that when it shows up on streaming, I can watch it.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else besides that, but I was excited to talk about that. I thought that was really kind of a unique film.
Sounds interesting. I'm willing to give it a watch.
I watched Troll on Netflix. I don't know if either of you are familiar with that.
No.
It's like a story of they're building some, I don't know, I think they're building a road, so they demolish these mountains that trap these trolls because the story is the trolls were out too late and they got turned to stone by the light.
Oh, so it's not related to that
Not at all.
bad horror movie?
No.
Okay.
But some of the parts of it kind of like the Mystery Science Theater feel
Okay.
because it's clearly dubbed over in English, so their words don't match with what they're actually saying. and one of the guys just starts talking this random shit about writing a book, and it kind of has that feel to it,
Okay.
which made me then watch Puma Man,
Ah,
which is irrelevant to what else I watched. I watched Napoleon on Apple TV.
okay.
Long and slow is how I would describe that one. Like it's not bad, but it's slow. Like just you're kind of like, how much is left? How much is left? Is this almost over?
I didn't want to
And
see it before. No, I really don't want to.
I was excited to see it, and now I watched it and I was like, how much is left? Am I done? How much is left? And then the last one I put on my list, I watched the Spirit Halloween the movie on Amazon Prime. I wrote down what I watched and where I watched. It's for you, Nicholas.
All right.
What
Yeah.
about what about
That's
that
the
movie?
the movie where Spirit Halloween becomes like a possessed store.
Yes. Where the person who like owns or founded the town dies and someone put a curse on him, so his spirit is like forever trapped there. And then the kids decide they're too old to trick or treat, so they stay in Spirit of Halloween. And the spirit comes back and starts possessing the objects in the store. A lot of no-name people that I didn't recognize. One lady looked familiar, but I didn't know who she was for sure. But the guy who plays the spirit, so the one you can listen to do the talking and stuff, Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, okay.
Not bad. I don't know exactly. It's definitely aimed more towards preteen teens than anything else. So luckily, I watched it with the rest of the family, so it wasn't so bad, but it's still a pretty fun movie. It didn't seem very long.
All right.
I'll find a family to watch it with.
Can always use this one.
Break into somebody's house. We're gonna watch this movie.
Do you have Amazon Prime? No. Next
Well, we're gonna
house.
get a trial.
Those were the three that I wrote down I'm assuming I watched something else, but those are the three main ones I wrote down.
I've been rewatching The Boys, which is a really good show. Highly recommend it. But the main thing that I watched, I went and saw the new Bad Boys movie yesterday. Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Will Smith needs a paycheck.
Will Smith needs to try to make a career comeback because he almost killed it.
Did you see that stuff with like Rob Schneider coming out saying that's the real Will Smith?
The one that slapped Chris Rock?
Yeah,
Uh,
that he's just a giant asshole, and this is a big persona he puts on.
I also don't know how much I can put stock into anything that Rob Schneider says. So who knows? I don't care. I mean, as long as they're not like, racist or raping women, I just,
I mean, just don't kill puppies.
That's a good
I
one
mean-
too. Let's add that to the list.
like, you're a dick. Oh, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to. Him slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars isn't going to affect me enjoying a Bad Boys. I mean, it's a Bad Boys movie. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's the plots of these movies are getting crazier and more over the top. But it's what you expect when you go see a Bad Boys movie.
Did you play the video game?
They made a video game of Bad Boys.
I want to say yes. I feel like I'm not imagining this.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I really
Sure,
would.
they probably did.
I will tell you, the people who directed the movie did some camera work that made me think that a first-person shooter movie, kind of like, what was that, Hardcore Henry, a couple years ago, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
would be much more possible. They did some really interesting camera work with some of the action scenes, with camera angles and with drones, and the way they had like cameras attached to Will Smith doing things. Like it was interesting. It was a lot more going into it than you would expect in for the fourth Bad Boys movie. But anyway, that's what I watched. So, and then a bunch of old stuff because that's what I do.
They made a video game in 2004.
Oh,
Miami Take.
so around the time that the second movie came out.
But I do remember that game. I think I have it somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I never bothered to play that.
All right.
All right, then. I guess. Has anybody got anything they want to promote or talk about? Or
Sure. I guess.
No, never.
Okay.
Justin, you can find Justin at where, Justin? Where
I
are your handles?
I don't even know anymore. I don't do anything. I'm very unpresent on my social media presence.
Well, I had a guest appearance on the Wrap It Up podcast. If anyone wants to check that out. I thought it went okay.
Is that
It
like
was-
wrapping Christmas presents?
Not,
What a
oddly
great
enough,
promotion
not.
for it.
It was interesting. It's worth a listen. It's
I feel like I
Post
could have done a better job promoting myself, but I was rusty. Check it out, please. Help me for the love of God. Those guys are actually really cool. I do think those are cool guys. Very professional. They use this website called StreamYard, and it's very interesting. We should look into that.
okay.
But anyways, yeah, I think it's let me go look up the episode really quick if anyone really wants to check it out.
What do you got, Nicholas?
Who knows? Wait, Justin.
You were looking. I was trying to not have dead time.
I'm right. It's right here. I have it. Episode 110 of the Wrap It Up podcast called Do the Roar. And they even put a timestamp in to get right to my interview if you want. Although it starts with some like vulgarity. And I'm pretty vulgar in it. I was actually kind of nervous because I don't really do other people's podcasts. I did one once as myself, though, for work. I was on the Blue Collar Leadership podcast before. But in all honesty, that's really why I don't go on a lot of podcasts. I get nervous. Anyways, let's move on.
All right. Yeah, I got no way to segue into my normal ending, so I'm just gonna say, stupid never walks alone.
Comic books have been around for almost a century, and in the last 2 decades, we've finally gotten to see many of these characters brought to life in movies and on TV. On the Moving Panels podcast, we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. Join me and my guests as we discuss both the good and the bad from Marvel, DC, and even some of the lesser-known comic book companies. Learn what is and isn't from the comics, as well as our nerdy review of the movie or show. New episodes drop every Monday, and you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. So join us for Moving Panels, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to the 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-hosts to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.